If your ranch glows like car wax and clings to lettuce like glue, you might be paying extra for a fake, house-made label. Today, we're pulling the lid on the creamy trio restaurants don't want you to question. Let's start with ranch and blue cheese. When a sauce stays glossy, thick, and tastes identical at every spot in town, that's a tell.
Pasta nights are made better with a great tasting sauce. It can make your feel-good dinners taste even better. Sauce won 5 awards last year and 4 awards 2 years ago at the Sunday Sauce Showdown. Right now you can get a Diablo. Gigi is now selling his sauces in jars. The same sauce he puts on meals.
We'll show you the sheen, the spoon test, and the napkin smear that exposes industrial bases, so you can skip the upsell and stick to simple oil and vinegar that won't ambush your budget or your gut. Your salad glows, your napkin smears, and the sauce never separates. Why does every chef's ranch act like plastic wrap? Let's start with the claim. A lot of house-made, creamy sauces begin life in a factory. Not a mixer in the back, but a drum made for months of storage. The goal is shelf life, not fresh milk, not real buttermilk tang. That label is kitchen theater. The base is engineered to look smooth, taste the same, and never crack under a heat lamp. Menus talk up buttermilk ranch and aged blue cheese. Back of house often reaches for a shelf-stable jug or a powder packet, adds water, maybe a splash of dairy, and calls it a day. It saves labor, it cuts waste, and it keeps the salt and acid on autopilot. The romance is on the menu. The reality is in the walk-in.
Like in some other things we do to enhance the flavor of tomato, I call it simple. It's just a simple sauce. We use extra virgin olive oil in our sauce. We use imported Pecorino Romano cheese in our sauce. That coupled with the high-end
There's unlimited number of sauces on the shelf. That doesn't mean that they're all good. So we're hoping to be at the top of that mark.
Look at the sheen. That glassy, uniform gloss that stays shiny even when it warms is your tell. Fresh dairy dressings sit soft and matte. They relax in the bowl. They slump a little, and they separate at the edges if they sit too long. The industrial stuff holds a showroom shine. The reason is chemistry. Gums and stabilizers lock water and oil together so the sauce never breaks. Xanthan gum, modified starches, and preservatives like sodium benzoate or calcium disodium EDD keep color, texture, and tang locked in place. It is like giving the sauce scaffolding so it stands up no matter what.
Consumer Reports trained sensory panelists spent weeks tasting 10 store-bought barbecue sauces. You are favorites at this restaurant. Chef Basora says the secret to great tasting barbecue is all in the sauce.
On broiled chicken tenders and on chicken thighs cooked in a slow cooker, but we rated them on how they tasted straight up.
Try the spoon test. Dip, lift, and watch the trail. If it coats like interior paint and leaves smooth, carved ridges that don't melt back, you are probably looking at a gum-thickened base. Real dairy looks looser. It pulls thin as it warms and shows little gaps. The fat tells on it, too. Instead of milk fat, these bases lean on soy and canola blends. Then a dose of corn syrup or glucose rounds the taste, so the cheap oil reads as richer. The real kicker, glassy sheen and zero separation after 20 minutes.
Be a combination of tangy, sweet, spicy, and smoky. But to be good, the flavors should be well blended and
It's like Emerald, Jack Daniels, and Stubbs, and supermarket staples like Casey Masterpiece and Kraft Original. Not surprisingly, no two sauces were the same. Consumer Reports found most improved when cooked with meat.
Now let's move on to the creamy trio that wears the fanciest names, but often comes from a pouch. 3 sauces, 1 playbook, different names, same powders and oils. Let's start with ranch, blue cheese, and the catch-all signature aioli. At a lot of spots, they begin with the same neutral base. Think bulk mayo, or a creamy concentrate you thin with water, or a splash of dairy. Then the kitchen swaps packets. Herb mix for ranch, cheese crumbles for blue, garlic dust for aioli. New label, same core. Here's the tension. Chef's specialty, and that extra buck make you expect cream, buttermilk, olive oil. What you get is dehydrated dairy, cheap seed oils, and flavor packs that keep the taste locked on rails. It looks premium on the menu. It behaves like product in the bowl. Ranch first.
Reports rated 4 sauces very good, no matter how you use them. Among them, Target's Archer Farms Texas-style barbecue sauce was one of the exceptions.
It was gelatinous with an overwhelming smoky, ashy flavor, and the cooking didn't help it either. The Archer Farms sauce was spicy and smoky with lingering heat and a splash of cider vinegar. It worked well as a dip and in cooking.
The classic move is a dry mix or a jug base. It leans on buttermilk flavor, not buttermilk. Parsley flakes add green, so it scans as fresh. A soft sweetness rounds the edges and hides the oil bite. That's why it clings like paste and still tastes clean after a long sit. Blue cheese sounds fancy, but the trick is simple. Small crumbles get folded into a neutral, glossy base. Stabilizers keep the cheese fat from leaking out, so you get a smooth body instead of specks swimming in a ring of oil. The crumbles do the visual work. The base does the heavy lifting.
There's unlimited number of sauces on the shelf. That doesn't mean that they're all good. So we're hoping to be at the top of that mark.
On broiled chicken tenders and on chicken thighs cooked in a slow cooker, but we rated them on how they tasted straight up.
Reports rated 4 sauces very good, no matter how you use them. Among them, Target's Archer Farms Texas-style barbecue sauce.
Garlic aioli? In a lot of kitchens, it's mayo plus powdered garlic and acid, not a slow whisk of olive oil and egg yolk. Bulk canola mayo, gums, and a garlic punch-in. Rich on the tongue, flat on the finish. Why the sameness? Industrial bases guarantee the same salt, acid, and garlic levels across stores, so training drops, waste drops, and the sauce never surprises. The price integrity gap shows up here. You pay a house upcharge while the premix comes in cheap. Sugar syrups do the smoothing, blunting harsh seed oil notes, so the sauce reads as fuller, warmer, richer. The payoff, chef's specialty, often mirrors gas station packets because they share suppliers and the same core.
Is all in the sauce.
The sauce is what really brings out the flavor, and that's really the key ingredient to barbecuing anything.
If you like a thicker sauce, the least expensive tested, Walmart's Great Value Original Barbecue Sauce, is a tasty choice too.
The trio with the fancy names? Often powders with a facelift. And that hit of HFCS masks the bargain oil, turning bitter into round. So what is the move when you want flavor without the industrial gloss? Consistency and sheen are not signs of quality. They're signs of engineering. If the sauce looks like vinyl and clings like glue, it is built to behave, not to taste fresh. You have better options. Ask for olive oil and vinegar, or a squeeze of lemon and salt. Clean, sharp, no gloss, and you can see every drop. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone. Trust your eyes, the gloss, the gluey cling, the no separation look. When you spot it, skip the upsell. Order simple. Your gut stays calm, and your wallet does too.